Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, the virtual world. My name is Jason Wilshire-Mills, and I'm an artist. I'm an artist, a digital artist. Oh, sorry, my lovely PA is just reminded me that I've not got my microphone on, so I'll say that again, again, guys, if you missed it. Good morning. My name is Jason Wilshire-Mills. Hello to everybody. I'm a digital artist, so in the screen next to this is my iPad screen, but you can use pencil and paper. It's okay. I'm just using this because it's easy to share with. So today we're going to look at self-portraits. We're going to look at how you can do self-portraits in a traditional way. We're going to look at how we do self-portraits in a slightly unusual way, the way that I do them. So I'm going to sort of teach you in a little bit about how you can do the traditional route, and then I'm actually going to produce a piece of art, and you can follow me, and you can use the computer screen as your mirror if you want, or use a mirror for the first bit, or you can just make it up. My face is easy to draw, it's easy to do a self-portrait because I've got no complicated hair. But before we start, I wanted to sort of share with you some artists that I really, really like that have used self-portraits and really sort of excelled themselves, really. So we've got Vincent van Gogh here, of, as the Americans call him, Vincent van Gogh. And this is a sort of range of self-portraits that he's done. And they're really powerful. I mean, I've done a close-up of one of his self-portraits, and that's an eye that's lived. That's an eye that tells a story. And if you look at how he's made the marks, and he's sort of, it's very tumultuous. That's a good word, tumultuous, which means dramatic and amazing. And he's one of my favourite artists because he painted from here, he used his ideas, and he painted from here. And what's the amazing thing about Vincent van Gogh is that he painted non-stop for 10 years. His career, his art career as an artist, lasted for 10 years. So these are kind of traditional self-portraits where you're looking in a mirror and you're showing the world who you are. But Vincent van Gogh was one of these artists that showed people how he felt as well. And that's why I said it came from here. And I'm going to include in his self-portraits these paintings of boots. Now you'd think, well, what's that got to do with self-portraits, Jason? Well, everything that Vincent van Gogh painted was a self-portrait, and I think these are fantastic examples of that, in the sense that he's kind of showing how he feels in a pair of battered old boots, that's seen a bit of life, that's kind of the kind of the laces are fragile and everything's kind of just slightly out of kilter because he had mental health problems, did old Vincent, and all his paintings told a story of that. So the way he used colour, the way he used line, the way he painted was all about that. Another artist that's been very influential, that's it, yeah, I've got there in the end, is Frida Kahlo, or Frida Kahlo, or good old Frida. And she was a Mexican artist, and like myself, because I haven't mentioned this, guys, yet, but I'm a wheelchair user. I'm physically disabled, and so was Frida Kahlo, or Kahlo, or Kahlo. And she did these beautiful, complex self-portraits, which she decorated her head because she had a saying. She said, every day I want to be beautiful. I want to make myself beautiful. So even though I'm disabled, I'm going to wear flowers in my hair. I can't do that, but I'll give it a go. I could put them in my beard, I suppose. And she wanted to sort of show the world that her paintings are about defiance, but she also did kind of magical self-portraits. So you get herself as an animal. In this case, it's a deer that's been wounded, and her disability was caused by a very bad car crash. So I think there were kind of everything she did, a little bit like Vincent, but there's a bit of magic in Frida's paintings. And these paintings down here, these self-portraits, that idea the idea of, I'll just take Vincent because he's snooping at the back. That idea of using objects or things that were important. So she's got flowers that are important to Mexico, and obviously these beautiful little monkeys. The arm on that one's a bit long, but I'm not going to wait to see my drawing. But it's this kind of the self-portrait. There's always this thing about the look, the gaze, because the artist is usually really gazing at a screen or a mirror. And there was a scientist actually who took every self-portrait in a museum, and he found out that in the middle, directly right in the centre of the painting, usually was I think it was the left or right eye. It was one of them. There's only two to pick, so we got 50% of being right on this one. And so there's also an aspect to symmetry, getting the symmetry right. And she also wore sort of jewellery that was important, and I'm going to come to that when I get to my bit, when I get to my bit showing off. She also wore sort of things that were important to Mexican culture. And this is one that I really love. And if anybody ever looks on my website, and my lovely, amazing PA, Ian, will type up the website, www.jwmartist, all one word, .co.uk. If you look at that, you'll be able to see some examples of my self-portraits, and because everything, even the, right, I've got to get the right side here, even this geezer up here, the Elvis, I'm wondering a bit now, because I'm back to front on the screen, that's why I'm getting it a bit slightly out, but even Elvis up there on the screen, my rocker, is a kind of self-portrait, because all art is. But coming back to here, we've got things in here that are really interesting. So she's got a painting of a bird here, and she's got this very thorny necklace, because she's talking about pain, she's talking about really difficult things in her life that she suffered from. But again, she's got aspects of beauty, really beautiful, exquisite, gorgeous, amazing paintings of flowers and kind of magical creatures. Look at that here. There's kind of a butterfly, mayfly, that's kind of a flower as well. And she's got silver butterflies in her hair and another fantastical winged creature flying away here. So when I first saw Frida Kahlo's work, I thought, wow, you can do sort of magic stuff in artwork as well. So I'm just going to show you my work now, and you can probably see the influences. So this is something, guys, that I did for the Houses of Parliament, and it was all about disability discrimination. So it was all about celebrating the fact that this act had come into power. So I listed all the things that happened to me because of the Disability Discrimination Act. And what a surprise as well. I've got, like Frida, so I've got me flowers on the wallpaper there. I've got these butterflies. I've got these crazy superheroes. But I've also got, who's in the window there? Frida Kahlo. And there's my dad there as well. And there's Bat Jace there. And I'll tell you very quickly, a little story about this. When I first became disabled in 1980, and my brother wheeled me all the way from my hospital to Dewsbury, because I'm from Yorkshire originally, and it's about 6 miles. And because like every 11-year-old kid, I want to see Jaws the movie. I want to see, and Jaws 1 and 2 was being shown, so it was like really exciting. So he wheeled me all this way, and it was up hills and down hills, and we got to the cinema. And guess what the guy said, the manager? You can't come in. And my brother wasn't very happy about that because he wheeled me all that way, and I was quite excited. But I wanted to put something in. I always try and put little stories in with the work. And it's come on a long way. You can see me. These are all the digital work that I've been doing. And this is some of my augmented reality work. And as you can see, there's all these little symbols all over. But he looks quite familiar, doesn't he? Again, another self-portrait. This is one of the first self-portraits that I did using an iPad. And the Batman theme is going to come up quite a lot. And this is, I must say, sort of thank you to Ferrens Art Gallery and Hull Museums for inviting me to do this, because this is something I did for their advent calendar over Christmas. So this is a piece of work that I just created, and is a very good example of that idea of putting things in there that are important to you. So again, we've got Frida Kahlo there, we've got Hull FC players and Hull KR players there. I'm gonna have to have a drink, guys. Excuse me. We've got William Wilberforce there, and we've got a dog riding a horse. Why not? And we've got my mum and dad there. We've got a Mexican wrestler, and all these really beautiful things, wallpaper of hearts and little secrets written into it. Really important things. Love, most important thing going, especially after Valentine's Day. So I've shown you a little bit of my work, so you know that it's a bit crazy, a bit colourful. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you very quickly, he said, over the next few minutes, how you do kind of a traditional self-portrait. So I'm going to use this screen and a memory, because I'm very lucky. Usually when we're doing self-portraits, this is how we do them. This is how we do them. We do them using a wibbly-wobbly line, and we try and find the right line. So I'm going to get my, so that's a basic shape. And then I start to do, I get the measurements in approximately for where my eyebrows are, where my nose is, and where my mouth is going to be. And there's a real trick here. The top of your eyebrows to your ear is approximately on the same line here. So if I know that that's the top of my eyebrows here, I can start putting in my ear, or ear here, if I speak the Queen's English. So I'm going to get the old, and like I said, it's, don't worry if this bit here is about sort of taking a lion for a walk. I once misheard it and took a lion for a walk, and it didn't end out too well. But we do the old eye here, put that one in there like that. And I'm looking all the time, get the old bags in because I didn't sleep very well last night. And I'll do another one here to keep it company, like so. And again, it's a bit wibbly wobbly, but that's okay because we're going to straighten it up. So I'll bring the old nose down. And I've got a bit of a funny nose because I have to wear a mask to help me breathe sometimes. So it's messed up my nose a little bit. But what I'm going to do is bring this down here like that, get the shape of it. Get the old nostril in there and put another one in here to keep it company. And then, I don't know what this bit is called under here. Do you know, Ian, what that bit's called? I've always wondered what that little bit is above your lip. Above everybody's lip. So we'll give me a smile, a slight enigmatic smile. So we got, but I'm missing something, aren't I? I'm missing a couple of things. So I'm going to start making it look a bit more like me. So we start getting the old beard in. And again, just imagine this. You don't need a posh iPad to do this, guys. Pencil and paper. Pencil and paper. And I'm just scribbling, basically. I'm taking a line for a walk. And it's about looking all the time. So my beard, I'm just blocking it in and not worrying too much. I'm going to make my head a bit wider there. And I'm going to get my old glasses in. I'm going to use the lines that I put in as guides to get my specs in, like so. And I'm going to put that in there like that. And I'm just going to really colour it in just very quickly, like so. And then go around here like that. And then we obviously do the same on the other side. And I might have to bring the eye down a little bit, but not to worry. You're exploring at the moment. You're trying things out. You're making decisions and thinking, does that work? Does that not work? Why does that not look like me? And I can honestly say the reason I'm showing you this is to show that I make mistakes as well. But mistakes are cool because they're the really good ways of learning, of getting ideas down. And So consider this the first layer of what the drawing is going to be. And so I've got most of the features in place. So I'm bringing this down here like so. And I get my cheeks a bit bigger because it's got to be accurate as well. So it's getting the measurements in. And right. So what I'm going to do is I would use a rubber to knock that back a little bit. But in this case, I'm just going to just make it a little bit. So I've touched, can you see the little blue, if you're using Procreate here, because this is what I'm using, I've just used 2 fingers here and tapped the screen, tap that line. Oh, the Filtrum, thank you. Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you ever so much. That is brilliant. I've always wondered what that was. I wondered what the name was, but yeah, Filtrum. That sounds like a baddie in Doctor Who. Yeah, the Filtrum. Right, so I'm going to put some digital tracing paper over it. So as you can see, all I've done is just touch that layer and put it on top of that. And this is where I start to use a deeper colour and start to add more detail. Oh, just before that, I'm just going to slightly distort this a little bit because I've been too kind to myself, and so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to make it a little bit wider. So I'm just going to make it a little bit rounder, that face, like so. And then I go onto that layer, which is tracing paper. So imagine that, sorry, that everything's back to front on the screen. So I'm pointing the wrong way, but I'm pointing the right way now. So imagine that bit of white paper is white paper. And you're just literally putting tracing paper over your drawing. So I'm going to start going around this now and really being bold about it. And again, I'm not being too sort of careful. I'm sort of being brave with the sort of marks that I'm making. When I first started drawing, I used to really press hard on the paper, almost like the pencil used to almost go through. So we're going to do this here, go like that, bring this round here like so, get some more detail on the eyes, like so. So put that bit in there, get the old eyelids in, get the old bags in there, the pupil, and then the old iris, like so. And then, so I'm going to start getting the old beard in. And what I like about drawing, the process of drawing, because every bit of work that I do, it starts off with a line. It starts off with getting that information down, being brave and deciding to basically make a mark. And it's the most exciting thing. An empty bit of paper is the most exciting thing. It's an adventure. It's a voyage that you're going on. And I make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes from which you learn from, and you go, well, I won't do that again. I'll try something different. But sometimes these mistakes that you do through the process of making art, they give you opportunities to show your work differently, try new ideas out that you probably wouldn't have tried. I remember when I wasn't a digital artist and I was painting, I spilt terps onto a painting that I'd done, and I really panicked. I thought, oh, blimey, it's ruined it. And it was one of the best things I'd done. It was a happy accident. It was a mistake, but it kind of made it, and it made me kind of think that we should really embrace these things. So, you know, it's really lovely. And so I'm building it up really slowly. I'm sort of getting the sort of detail in. I'm probably not looking as much as I should be, so I'm going to start darting my little eyes towards the screen just to make sure. But what I wanted to show you was the process by which you'd get the main features down, and it's about confidence, really. it's about sort of just going for it, taking a line for a walk and seeing where you end up. See where. So I'm just building it up. Imagine this is black pen and ink basically. So get this eye in. So I'm just going to do, and I'm using my original sort of wibbly wobbly lines for want of a better term as a guide. And then I'm just using them to find the mean, so the middle route where these things are would be on the screen. So I'm filling in the darker tones as well. And a good way of seeing darker tones, this is just a tip, is to squint slightly. And and also, one of my tutors once said, a long time ago, put your work upside down, because you can see the symmetry of it. You can see if things are not quite adding up. So I'm going to make sure that chin's a bit more. So I've got my old bushy beard going on a bit there. It's starting to happen. I'm just checking myself for time because I've got about 25 minutes. And what I'm going to do now is, so I've got that. I'm just going to make that, just add a bit more shadow there. Add a bit more shadow, bring that down here like that. Get a bit in like that. Get the old worry lines. I am smiling under that beard, guys. I'm very happy. So I'm just going to merge those two because I like and I'm going to copy that. But you would trace it or just redraw it quickly. So that is a quick way of doing. He says a quick way, but I would obviously spend a couple of hours on this now, sort of getting the a bit more accuracy. But it's not too bad, is it? Look. The side view there, it's very enigmatic. So I'll go into gallery here and I'm going to share. So when I said about the things I like, and a self-portrait can be, it can just be more than a face. So yesterday I was sat sort of trying to work out what kind of things I liked and what's important to me. So obviously my family are really important to me. And how do I sum that up? But you remember old Frida? She kind of used animals to sort of represent other things. And throughout the history of art, and I can give you a good example, artists have done this. For instance, little dogs wagging the tail in paintings, old paintings in the past, were a sign of faithfulness and loyalty and all those kind of things. But my cat, this is Tempo, a cat that I had in the past. She was beautiful, as you can tell, and she was such a lovely personality and fitted. She was part of our family, and so I've got her. I don't know why I'm whispering this because this is going out to the internet, but I like Batman quite a lot. So there's a lot of superheroes in my work, and I like the idea of this guy that goes out in the night with his underpants over his trousers and basically he's a bit grumpy, and that's his superpower, being a bit grumpy. It could have been from Yorkshire, but I'm from Yorkshire, so I'm allowed to say that. I've got a little thing here. I do a lot of work in Corby with fantastic groups, and this is a Viking raven, which is very important to their mythology. Vikings, that is, and I've included it because it also represents, my feelings towards these groups. So hello Teamwork Trust, and hello Oakley Grange and Venture Arts in Manchester, not forgetting you guys. Another Batman logo here. I'm from Wakefield, so I really love rugby league, and so they're my team, and they feature, and I like a bit of Doctor Who as well. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to show you a little trick that artists from Leonardo da Vinci's used. So we're getting a bit of the old art history here, right down to me have used, and it's okay. So you remember, we're going to try and put together in the time we've got left what I would perceive to be a kind of magical self-portrait. I'm just going to be using line, but I'm also going to be getting some of this stuff in. So what we're going to start off with, first of all, I'm going to bring my drawing that I've done, and then I'm going to put some white paper behind it so I can see it. That's a good start. So fill layer, like so. So I'm going to shrink my head, and I do that by pressing this little arrow up at the top using 2 fingers, and I'm going to put it about there. Because what I'm going to do is, just get rid of that, and I'm just going to move tempo a little bit. I'm going to bring in this little doodah here, this little raven, and I'm going to move that up here. No, I'm not going to move that. I'm going to move this. See, it's so well organized. It's almost seamless. It's almost seamless. So I'll move this round here like so. So I'm going to put that there. Just ignore that. That was I meant to do that. Who would work with technology? Hey, so I'm just going to move that again, like so. So that moves up like that. Move it along here. And then I'm going to go into this layer and just shrink it down, like so. And you remember the Frida Kahlo painting with the necklace? So what we're going to do is, I'm going to add a bit more detail here. So I'm just going to merge. I'm going to add a bit more detail here. I'm going to give me a neck. That'd be important. So get me old pullover going on here. So like so. And bring a bit more detail around here. I grew a beard to make my face a bit more interesting. We were talking about this before I went on air, because I quite like putting the old moustache up. It makes my face a bit more interesting. There's a bit more to go on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the necklace down here, and the way I'm going to do that is by just drawing these really rough kind of links. And I've used that line so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm coming back here like so. And keep on moving and grouping round here like that. Round here like that. And I'm just giving me a sense of that there's a chain there. So I'll bring this up around here like so. And if there's a bit of time, I'm going to add colour, but the main thing at the moment is getting this bit right. And the great thing about these Apple pencils is they do feel like a pencil. It weighs as much as a pencil, but it's got good connectivity. Try saying that with, in fact, a dry mouth. I'm just going to... So it's got really good connectivity, and it does feel like you're drawing on paper. So just get this in here like so. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to lower the old raven down a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to bring this here like so. So we're going to, and then bring this round here like that. So now we've got a bit of the old pagan necklace going on. So have you got a question for me, Ian?
Yes, Kevin says, can I ask what software you use?
Yes, Procreate, Kevin. It's I mean, it's quite an expensive one, but there's lots out there. There's Sketchbook Pro. There's some vector programs as well, which means that the line, if I zoom, for instance, if I zoom in here on this program, Procreate, you can see the pixels, but on a vector program, all that is smooth. It's just absolutely perfect, amazing. Illustrator's a vector program. But yeah, I would say, and I do all my work on Procreate. So I'm just going to do the old shoulders here now, add the shoulders. Blimey, I look like a beatnik there. I look far too interesting. That's so, and then I get a few lines in here. So what I'm going to do is, this. So this is a bit of a funny sort of self-portrait, in that we're going to have lots of really strange stuff in it if we got time. So we've got the old pagan necklace, and this is a bit of a nod to old Frida. And what I think what all paintings like this need is, or drawings I should say, I just take, so I'm using my rubber now. Using your rubber to draw with, because I'm going to, obviously my beard's not black, so you can work in your rubber, you can take out the lines like so. You can do a bit of modelling with it. And when I'm being modelling, it's about giving my cheek a bit more roundness. I mean, I'm on a diet, it's going well, but you know, I've still got a long way to go. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just bring in my Batman from here. And this is, remember when I said we're going to use a technique that has been used as old as time, and all artists have used it, and it's okay to use it. And what we're going to do is we're going to trace, and that's, I'm telling you categorically, that's okay. Peter Blake does it, Leonardo da Vinci did it, so it's okay. Oh, the concept art. You'd have to. Can you send me details about that? I've never heard of that one. That sounds quite interesting. Yeah. Who's that from, Ian? Sorry. Amelia. Yeah. Can you send me some details of that, Amelia? I'd love to know about it. On Wednesday, by the way, Amelia, I'm doing a workshop just about how I use tech. So that might be something that I can look at for Wednesday as well. But I'm going to sort of talk about using augmented reality and stuff in my work. So anyway, I want Batman in the background because I often sit thinking about Batman, thinking, what would he do in this situation, Jason? So I'm going to do this, see how quickly, because we haven't got much time, we've got about 14 minutes to go. I'm going to try and get as much as I can, much detail into this drawing. So I'm going to do this as fast as I can. And I'm just going to go on here. And again, I tap it with 2 fingers, tap that blue, and I'm going to make the opacity a bit lower so I can see my lines on this. So make my line a bit smaller. So go around here like so. And I'm going to show you. It's amazing for a disabled person, but when I'm drawing, I don't half move fast. So look at that there. Get the old shadow there a bit. Get his old knee in. It must have been very cold, Batman. That's all I can say, because you know Gotham's a bit like Hull. It's a port city. It's Northern America, so it's kind of equivalent to Northern England. Let's get the old muscles here. And this is from the 1940s, this particular image of Batman. I'm a great devotee, I should say, of images from that. I love Popeye and the old Popeye cartoons. And you'll see little references to stuff that I love. And it could be something that I've seen on telly that week or whatever. Get the old bat there. I'll do a little scribble. And hopefully you can see, because I've tried to take the mystery out of the art process with this, that you can get down ideas really quickly, even while you're talking, guys. You can get your ideas down really quickly. So let's move that there, get that in that, get that in that, go down here, go get that in, and there. I did a Batman character for the parliamentary piece that I showed you earlier on, but because of copyright and stuff, and this is out of copyright because it's from the 1940s, I couldn't use it, but we were going to speak to DC about using it, which would have been really cool. So just get this down here, go there. It's really good sometimes to retest yourself with, right, I'm going to do a 5-minute sketch and just see how it goes. So just get these lines in here to show you where the sort of veins are in his cape, if you like. Get the old leg in there, the old boot down here. and just check the time. Yeah, I'm doing really well. And down here like so. Peter Blake says that tracing gets you from A to B, and it gets you can get ideas down really quickly. It really helps you to see a little bit more clear, and it helps you to get, he calls it, to get from A to B. Right, so I'm just going to turn that off, and I can see what I've missed out. So I missed his shoulder out there. So get his shoulder in here like so. Bring this down here, get that a bit more, and put his briefs in, give him a bit of decency, like that. And then I'm just going to turn that off, and then I'm going to move Batman up here like so. So I've got Batman on my shoulder, like almost like a conscience. So I'm just going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to add another layer, and then we can start to add a little bit of colour. This is the exciting thing when you kind of get into the sort of colour stage of. So with this, there's a little arrow, and then next to it there's a little S. If I touch the S, what I can do is this. So I'm going to go like that, and then press fill layer, and then I'll do this by hand because just to show you that, and then put this here like so. And I would work back into this. This would be the first stage of getting ideas down. But what I'm trying to show you is all the different stages of putting together an image. So imagine you're doing this with felt tips. Imagine you're doing this with colour pencils. Imagine, it's just a case of, this is just a tool. I'm not the best salesman for Apple products, because I just see them as tools. I think they're things that we use, artists use to get ideas down quickly. So I'm just going to get the gloves in, and like so. And because they're a bit transparent, the colours, you get in a little bit of, it's almost like putting tissue paper over the top. And we're going to do it here, like that. And there might be a knock on the door in a moment because I can see an Amazon van outside. But don't worry, this is real life, sort of, yeah. So I'm just going to do his boots. This in the comic book trade is called colouring. So you'd have a colouring artist who literally goes traces and adds detail like so. And then we're going to just get the old cowl, not the Simon cowl, the Batman cowl. And then we go around here like so. And add a little bit up here like that. And then get these bits in like so. And I'm going to get his flesh colour in. So just go back up here and choose that kind of, and then just get some darker colours to get the shade in like that. Do a bit, get his old muscles in a little bit, do that a little bit more. And then I'm just going to multiply that. I'm just going to merge these two, merge down, and then I'm just going to multiply that, duplicate, and then I'm just going to really quickly do his costume, his oh, I forgot the name of it. This bit here is his cloak, which I think is the best bit about Batman, his cloak. That and his gizmos, of course. So there we go. And I'm just going to add a few more, some light touches here. to get that sort of feeling of, I'm going to go into this layer, to get that feeling of movement. And I'll just get these bits in here like so. A bit round here like that. But you've got the makings there of something quite interesting. So obviously I'd spend more time, and we'd get the TARDIS in and stuff. In fact, let's see if we can get the old get some shading on here, or some colour I should say, onto the face. So I'm just going to go on here, and I'm going to use a bigger brush because we want it to be a bit more transparent. And I'm going to go down here and get this in like so. Build this in like that. Copy that bit of colour there, and just start building up. And can you remember that the one of me as Batman that I showed right at the beginning? That is exactly how this started. That started. I started taking a line for a walk, and just getting tone down. I'll show you really quickly a little tip for eyes, how to do eyes. So imagine that you're putting spokes on a wheel like that, and you put one spoke on, then you put another layer like that, another layer like that, another layer like that, and then we add a bit of colour. So we'll make these green, we'll make these eyes green. So I'm building it up ever so slowly. I'm going to make it a little bit more sort of thicker. I'm going to copy some of this darker tones here, and then we put this in here, and then we just start building, really sort of going for it. And a bit more green, a bit more green. Colours in art history have always had a meaning as well. Green was always supposedly to denote wealth in Vermeer paintings, and so let's get some reflections in that as well, and get a bit of blue as well. One of my tutors once said, for every colour, Jason, that you use two others. Never be afraid of colour. And that black is never black. It's made. If you look at a beetle, or a cow, or even a black cat, black cats are amazing because when they're in the sun, their colour changes. My cat Hope, it's almost like bits of blue and stuff, and it's never the true nature. Doesn't seem to have a black, although somebody will probably be able to disprove me on that one. But so we'll go around here like so, and I'm keeping it very soft. Again, we're going to get some reflections in, so it's a bit like the old Karate Kid movie. So it's a bit wax on, wax off, but you just kind of build it up. You build it up, and we've got 2 minutes to go, guys. We've got 2 minutes to go. But what I would do with this, and as you can see, if I pull back, you get a sense of where you're going with the eye, the old green eye. What you would do then is start introducing other characters, playing about with, you know, I would let's see if we can get my jumper in time. I think that'd be really cool if we can do that. So I'm just going to get this in. I'm just going to knock it in really quickly, and maybe get the. So get my jumper in, fill layer, get the old. I'm looking at, we're on 43 minutes past, so I'm going to just get this, my lovely bit of jewellery in. So I'm being really. I'm going to copy some of these, so to get some of the. You see, he's gone mad. He's using blue in his beard. Wow. But yeah, just have a go at using different colours. Because I would make my beard a lot more darker and then start building it up. But this is just to give you, and using blue for shadows, this is just to give you, and we're on 44 minutes past, guys, so I would spend several hours then building this, putting the different characters in place, but this just gives you a little taste. And thank you, Amelia, for the advice about the software. Please come back on Wednesday. Thank you very much.